Hi folks, we're back with another item. This is a little bit less of a sensory and a little bit more of a learning and growing. But this is the hide and seek alphabet. It does have some feedback for some sensory seekers, obviously not as much as some of the other items we've looked at in the past, but it has a lot of the learning and growing aspect. So you have the different colors of the keys, you have the letters with the actual words on here, and you have a item underneath each one of these that corresponds with what that letter is. And then it's the same thing down here with the colors and the shapes. So you have gray, it says gray, and you have a gray chipmunk. This item is pretty cool. We got this as a kind of inspiration from our daughter, our youngest daughter. A friend of ours had this that we met up with a little ways back, and our daughter was playing around with this, and so I thought, it might be worth checking out. We got it on Amazon, and it was actually only $10.95, so I figured it'd be worth a little bit of an investment to check it out and see if that worked out. And so here it is. It does say it's for 3 years and up, and our daughter is 2.5, so pretty much fits the age range. There are 50 total pop-up buttons on here, so there's this last row at the bottom. You can't quite see all of them, but that's for the counting, and so we'll take a look at that once we pull it out. On the back, it has more information about it and the full view of what it looks like. It's funny, when I was telling my wife about this, I was telling her that I actually had something very similar to this, a little bit different. Obviously that was many years ago, but it's pretty much the same concept. So it is pretty neat to see that they still make these kind of things. Obviously it's low tech, but it does have a very cool aspect about it. And it definitely is intriguing for young kids. So let's go ahead and take a look. So we'll open this up here. Set that over here. So this is the whole unit right here. So we can see it has 5 rows, and there's 10 of the keys in each row. And we start up at the top, obviously, with the letters, and then we have the shapes and then colors, and then counting down here at the bottom, so 1 through 10. And it, again, is really cool because each one of these has, so B, bird, and it has a bird. C, cat, has a cat. Dog, elephant, so on. One of the things we did have a little bit of a critique about is some of these buttons don't work super well. And so like this fish one is a good example. So I push it up, and it seems like there's a little bit of a sloppiness in the actual function of it, and so it doesn't fit all the way down. And also we noticed that many of the stickers were a little bit off, kind of crooked. So I'm not sure if we just got kind of a bad unit, or if there was like this pig one, you can definitely tell it's off. It's crooked on one side. And then even this O right here is crooked, and the orange is crooked. So I think we probably just got a bad one, quality and all that. So we might end up either exchanging this or maybe just trying out a different product. It's funny because our daughter, like I said before, she was very interested in it, and it very much intrigued her, and she likes a lot of the fine little tiny things and pushing buttons and seeing reactions. But our other two, they're less interested in this kind of thing. It was funny, our youngest son, he took a look at this and was kind of playing around with it a little bit and didn't quite understand the concept of the different little buttons, and each one of them you have to push, and thought there must be some batteries that needed to be put into it because it obviously wasn't working. So my wife was showing him, and he was just like, I'm done. So it's definitely not for everybody. And again, 3 years and up, so there might need to be a little bit more of a concept of what we're doing here, and some of the different delays that our kids have might not be as much of an issue for other kids. But it definitely a cool product, and definitely reminded me of my childhood. And so it's very cool, and it has a lot of really good learning components to it. So with the letters, obviously that's going to be a little bit older. The shapes, I mean, you can do that pretty young, and obviously the colors, you can do that really young. And in counting, it's kind of like mid-range. So, but I just like, for me personally, and obviously my daughter, the idea of a push button thing, and it's not something that's electronic. It does make some noise, but it's not like annoying typical noises that toys make, especially with learning toys. It seems like a lot of those are even more annoying than just regular trucks and stuff. So I think this item's pretty cool for, you know, being very simple, very straightforward, and providing a lot of learning feedback for kids. So I would take a look at this. We'll obviously have the link in the description, and you can check that out for yourselves. If you remember this from your past, definitely leave a comment. And I have fond memories of these kinds of things, playing around with them. I think ours was not so much the flaps as a button you would push down, and it was like a clear kind of plastic that would be, you know, you couldn't really see past it until you pushed the button down, and then you could see the letter behind it. So similar concept, but this one is very, very cool. And I like all of the little windows that it has. You can, you know, obviously flip them all open by turning it over like that. I would be concerned about if your kids were really rough and like push on these, that maybe they would come off and you'd have to, you know, stick them back in there. And then obviously, for me, the concern with the quality for the stickers just being off. Again, our daughter liking all the little tiny things and actions and stuff, also likes if something's off or if something is like slightly up, picks at them. So picking the stickers off was kind of a concern for us. We talked about it, and I think we might be looking at the possibility of just sending this back and trying out a different product from this brand. So again, let us know what your thoughts are, and again, leave comments below and ask us any questions you might have, or leave any comments about any of these products that you have seen. If you've had, you know, again, experience with this particular one, whether good or bad, just let us know, and then that can help out other people as well. And we will talk to you all later.